happened, So like, I don't know. Does that qualify as news? Maybe our topic will get us through.
Yeah, that's true. We do have a discussion topic. Oh, that's what it was. Pac-Man 99 was the thing.
Oh yeah, so we can talk about that.
Or you know what we should start doing is just start calling it Pac-Man 35.
Yeah, let's do Pac-Man 35.
Make everybody
I said
mad.
it. That's why neither one of them have girlfriends anymore.
I woke up the next day and I was reading that thread. I was like, I like how you immediately like back turned on it too. Like,
I was already in like a crabby mood and I didn't want to actually like offend anyone.
I thought it was funny. Anyways, hi Twitch. We were talking about a conversation that happened in a Discord.
Inside joke. You wouldn't get it. Don't worry about it.
We are here. We have not synced up. Shall we do that, gentlemen?
Sure.
Shall.
So let's sync up in 3, 2, 1. Kirby, where you at?
5 minutes and 8 seconds. I think that actually ended up being closer to the Paper Mario win battle music, but you take your pick.
I'm not sure what it was. It was familiar. 8:46 for me.
Okay, thank you, King DDD.
I knew he was going to want to say something. Meta Knight. The only canonically black character in the series.
I like Meta Knight in Brawl, but I don't like Meta Knight in Ultimate.
Well, he was
I
OP
don't know
Brawl,
as if
right?
I've ever noticed
I
that
like him.
significant a difference between characters from one game to the other, except for those cases where they completely changed them, like
They really
Ganondorf and
They
Link.
really improved Pit and Brawl. He was like trashish in, or no, not in Brawl, in 4.
In Ultimate.
He was kind of trashish in Brawl, but then by the next thing, honestly, by 4 he was like really good. Everybody forgets 4 existed.
I kind of do always
Because
forget
it
about
didn't
4.
have a name.
Exactly,
Yeah,
fisticuffs.
that's true. Anyways,
Super Smash Brothers
shall we
fisticuffs.
actually get the show proper going?
If we have to.
I'm going to start the Steve and the music and the ocarina, and away we go.
Did you know we record the show live every Thursday night at 7:30 in the true time zone of the mountains? Head over to twitch.tv/Infendo Radio and watch us there.
So connected to the world of Nintendo, even Link knows where to find us. Infendo Radio is on now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio, episode 589. We stole most of those episodes from people who no longer do the show. My name is Lucas. I am joined by 2 out of my 3 co-hosts that I usually have tonight. Steve, the clone of Steve that we made from the original Steve that died at episode 500 and 53. He died. So we're cloning a new one. He should be ready by 590. In the meantime, I've got Eugene and Justin here. Eugene, how you doing tonight?
Oh, good. I'm just sad that the polyjuice potion of Steve that we tried to brew didn't work. So
Darn shame.
yeah,
It's a darn shame. Horcruxes, Harry Potter references. I totally get that.
I am doing good. You can find me on infendo.com, even though you didn't ask me that, but I'm going to tell you anyways. And yeah, I'm glad to be here. It is a fine evening in the Southwest, so yeah. But more importantly, Lucas, nobody ever asks you this. How are you doing this evening?
Oh my God. Well, I'm doing just fine, Eugene. Thank you so much for asking. Well, I guess we should probably include Justin in this conversation. Justin, how are you doing tonight, and where can the people find you?
And show note.
I knew it. I knew he was gone, but I needed to try.
Well, that's okay, because then he can just come in and be like, "Hi, I'm great," and then I can edit all this other part
In
out.
the meantime, I'll serenade you with an ocarina song.
I guess this is a good moment to get the Twitch chat open. How you doing, Twitch chat? As if anybody's here tonight, we love you. We appreciate you. Your noise gate definitely shut off.
Is it filtering?
Yeah, because I can't.
Yeah,
hear
I figured
shit.
it. I figured it always does when I play this. That's
It's
fine because all I was doing was making noise. So
yeah. Well, I guess we'll just hang out. Doesn't look like we have anybody in chat right now, so it's not like anybody's waiting on us.
hurtful.
Hurtful, but we'll take it.
Hey, it's what we do. This is Infendo Radio.
Oh
I want
God,
to serenade you with my friend here while we wait.
Oh God.
This is pretty much what the ocarina sounded like. Hey, I just got a thing on my computer asking if I'm playing music right now. Set up professional audio and audio settings.
Oh no. Okay. Try playing the ocarina now. Oh wait, did you turn on professional audio, the original audio?
I sure freaking will. Let's see. Professional
God.
audio. Music and professional audio. Turn on original sound.
Oh my God.
This is all fine, right? This is totally cool to do in the middle of the show. We don't have Justin, so
yeah. Oh, I can hear it this time. Nope, I lost you. I heard the.
wait.
All right, put the gate back on.
I should really learn how to play an instrument sometime.
I wish I knew how to play an instrument too. I had a recorder at one point. You know,
I lied. I actually knew how to play the double bass in elementary school. Totally forgotten, but
I am jealous because that sounds rad, actually.
Justin would like to tell us in private that nobody on the show should hear that his dog peed on the couch and he'll be back in a few minutes. Should we just hang out and this is just extra for the people who are watching live, or
yeah, I
what do we do?
think we'll have to because we haven't even introduced him, unless we just don't introduce him on this show and just move on
you just cut it at Eugene and it's just and we're back with. I mean, like you said, we don't have anybody watching live, so I'm sorry.
We do actually. We have one person. No on days. Hello, no on days. I don't know if I said that correctly, but why don't you tell me if I did in the chat? And sorry that we're not doing
Justin's
the show right
dog peed on the couch, so we're just kind of hanging out. So I guess just
it's a pee break. It's an unintended pee break. No,
I'm gonna need one of those after I finish up with this. I tell you what. Oh God.
Yeah, I have a proposal for you next week. While we're might as well turn this into a talk about the show talk.
Sure, let's talk about
maybe
the show.
Next week I can prepare a Nintendoons or something, or you can prepare a Nintendoons.
I would love a Nintendoons, but I hate setting up the audio, so I would love for you to prepare a Nintendoons.
I can do that. I can make that happen.
I'd actually like to start bringing those back, even if we just do one a month. I'd like to work games into the lineup again to some degree. Yeah, I'm a fan of games, but
we had fun with it, and I think we kind of went overboard with it because some of our games started taking hours.
We were doing games every week, and it was a lot. But I think once a month, I think is totally cool. That's totally
maybe at the first
I got an idea. Oh, go ahead. I got an idea. How about every 5th episode? So it'll be a nice round. Not every 0 and every 5 we do a game.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm every 5th episode. That's going to be hard to manage, but no, that makes sense. So since next episode is 595,
exactly.
No on days. Now you have an inside track into next week's show.
Congratulations. I'm sure it's everything you've ever wanted. It doesn't really look enough like a beard to be a beard. We're really sorry. We'll be back soon. We promise. We're just waiting.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
That looks kind of like a beard.
I would...
Don't criticize me.
I would... Okay. Yeah, no, I can squint and picture that as a beard. Okay, so it definitely works better as a unibrow. I'm going to give the unibrow a 10 out of 10.
I'm going to give it 1 thumb up.
Oh, you know what? I should have stopped the music because now it's going to be all weird because Justin's going to come back and it's going to be like the battle music instead of like whatever the fuck else was played before.
I mean, it's going to be weird no matter what you do, because should we just start the show over when he gets here? Like, oh, we had a good intro though. Our stuff was good. Nah, screw it. We'll just
everything is going to be fine in post. Oh, but I better put a
everything
note.
comes down to poop. From the top of your head to the sole of the shoe, we can figure out what's wrong with you by looking at your poop.
Oh, I accidentally got myself into poop TikTok because I watched one too many poop song videos. So there's a lot of poop song videos on TikTok, my friend. You should go start yourself an account.
That concerns me. That really, I never wanted to hear you say the words. I accidentally got myself into poop TikToks. Like,
well, the algorithm gives you what you want, and apparently that's what I want.
I've done some weird algorithmic things. You know, I'm doing the Japanese studying thing. So every now and then now my ads will actually be in Japanese, which is really fun. So that's neat.
Huh. Like you're watching YouTube and like a ad for like a Japanese company will show up.
Yeah, I'll get like because I'll sometimes I'll like do searches like in Japanese, and then it I think it now thinks that like that's a thing. So yeah, I get those sometimes. I also get Spanish ads, which is really weird because like I mean I studied it in high school, but like I don't really watch like any like Spanish content, so I don't know where they're getting. Maybe just because Florida, but yeah.
Sure. I guess they just target you because they just assume they do that. I know to me in New Mexico because same, they just kind of assume.
Yep. Yeah, no, I could see that. Do just living our lives.
Just living the life, and here's Justin back.
Hola, senor pee-pee pants.
The pee-pee off his pants.
All right, sorry about that. I don't know if you went on without me or if you just waited.
We just vamped, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hung out with our new friend in chat who may or may not have already left after that conversation.
I mean, No On Days is still here, but he hasn't said anything in chat yet. So if you're with us, say something. We love you. Justin, it's your intro time, but let me go ahead and start the music again and put a new note.
I'm just gonna pretend like we went right to where I think I can even remember what I said actually. So. Actually, you can just start it at Justin's intro. Screw it. Like
that's what I figure. You can just intro yourself, Justin, and then we'll start the show. So here's the music.
Go intro yourself, Justin.
Okay. Just go ahead from here.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead from here.
All right.
Fix it in post.
So hello. Those of you listening to the edited show have no idea what just happened. You think I've been sitting here the whole time, but I haven't been.
He's been standing.
But so I'm here. I'm doing well. You can follow me on Twitter at InfendoJustin. You can follow my Disney tweets at Utilidork, and you can go to thedisneyparkbench.com to read and listen to and see everything that's going on over there. I'm a little, my brain's a little frazzled right now, but I think I'll catch up.
Beautiful. We have got a show for you tonight. We've got a discussion topic. We've got Change the System. It's basically going to be like a normal show. But I wanted to kick things off this week because, Justin, I enjoyed your topic so much last week that I want to start doing this like as a normal thing on the show. I think we should have topics that we talk about other than just like game news and crap like that. So I propose that we talk about have the games from your childhood, your favorite games, your big hitters, have they aged well? Like Justin, you talk a lot about GoldenEye. I don't know if you want to bring that to the table. I've got some examples of games that I don't think have aged particularly well, but when you go back and play like the childhood wonders, how do they feel to you guys? And I'll start actually, I guess, because why not? The one that bothers me, the one that I'm having like a personal crisis over lately, is Banjo-Kazooie.
You mentioned that in the chat, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, how could you say that? That's like one of the best games like I've
here's
ever played.
How I'm gonna say
it. But I went back and I never finished it all the way through on the Xbox version, so that says something, I guess.
Yeah, I love Banjo-Kazooie. I think if I had to pick between Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and third collectathon that I can't remember right now on the N64, Donkey Kong 64, that says how much I think of that one. Then I would, as a child, I would have picked Banjo-Kazooie. But I have gone back and played all three of those games in the last 2 years. Mario 64, I adore. I think it is probably one of, if not the best Mario game ever made. At least 3D Mario. Donkey Kong 64, actually, as an adult with patience and time on my hands, I actually enjoyed a lot more than I did as a child.
If you have time on your hands, you are not enough of an adult.
We'll get there. But no, I really enjoyed Donkey Kong 64 in my replay. Didn't like it as a kid. I thought it was weird. I thought it was kind of scary, honestly. Like, Rare has a way of making games kind of like eerie with their music and their lighting and stuff. But Banjo-Kazooie, I've played a couple of times. It feels a little laggier than I remember, and part of that originally was because I was playing on like an HD TV and everything, and it was all messed up. But I've even gone back to like my old crappy TV that I love so much, and that I used to play like games on in college, and it's just, I don't know. There are things about it that I would die for to argue for, like the notes, right? Which is something they changed on the Xbox version. You have to collect all the notes in one go. I think that's
I had forgotten that until I read about it like a year or so after I restarted it.
I think it's kind of cool, to be honest, and I kind of like it. It adds a challenge.
That's part of the reason why I dropped off, quite honestly, because it wasn't challenging for me anymore. It's like, oh, well, this, like, refresh my memory. What happens is you collect the notes, and then if you go back, like, the notes that you collected are still...
You have a high score, and it adds to your note total. Like, so if you got 66, and then you went back and you got 41, you would still have 66 in your pool. You wouldn't get, like, the other 41. Whatever your highest total is added on, and I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But
basically, originally, if you left the level, it would still, like Lucas said, keep your high score of how many notes you collected, but all the notes you collected would return
be back in the level.
So if you pick up one you already picked up,
yeah,
it wouldn't count it. You'd have to figure out which ones you hadn't already picked up.
Yeah.
I prefer the Xbox version.
Yeah, for the Xbox version. For the original, you just have to get them all in one go, which, again, I like that challenge. But, you know, there's a lot of frustration when you're at 99 notes and then you get killed and you have to start all over from scratch, you know?
Yeah, that's where, in the original game, I got stuck on the Haunted Mansion one. I remember I literally left my Nintendo 64 on for 3 days. And I was searching and I finally found I don't even know where it was, but I found the one last note and I almost cried. It was like, because that was the last thing I needed to 100% that game. So it was just, I remember that.
I don't want to eat up everybody's time here, because I know that, you know, the question is, have your favorite games aged badly or whatever. But like, sticking with the Banjo-Kazooie thing, I almost think maybe that game just lends itself more to being a kid, because when you're an adult playing games, at least I've found this, and I've tried to fight it, but it's hard. I'm so much more task oriented than I used to be. Like, I used to just like to go into a game and just kind of like explore, and like Breath of the Wild it, right? Just go in and explore and see what there is to see. But now, like, it's like, okay, I want to, like, if I play Ocarina of Time to go hit that first dungeon, I hit that first dungeon. Time to go hit that second dungeon, you know, and that's like the whole, like, that's how I play games as an adult. And Banjo-Kazooie and Ukulele, honestly, are so much more about just kind of like, go out and see what you can find than they are about like Jiggy 1, Jiggy 2, Jiggy 3, you know, that kind of stuff. So maybe that's where, maybe my brain is just different, but I don't know. I want to love it, and I have great memories of it, but it's not doing it for me anymore.
And I think the fact that comparing Banjo-Kazooie to Mario 64, they did do that thing where, you know, Mario 64, you find a star, you get kicked out of the level. Yeah. Whereas Banjo-Kazooie and, you know, Mario Odyssey eventually picked this up. You know, you find it and then you just continue on, and it's amazing how drastically that changes the way you play it.
But I think the big difference between Mario Odyssey and Banjo-Kazooie, if you want to compare those, you know, apples, is that like you said, Mario 64 very goal oriented. You start the mission has a name, and you're looking for that star, right? And then you can deviate if you want. Mario Odyssey plays like Banjo-Kazooie, but there's so many rewards, like it's overabundance with rewards, right? So it kind of keeps that adult part of your brain clicking, because you don't have to wait 40 minutes to get a Jiggy. You're waiting like 3 seconds and you found another whatever they were in that game. Shine sprites? What are you collecting in Mario Odyssey? Stars? Really?
Yeah, they were the power stars.
Huh, I forgot that. Well, anyway, but yeah, so I think maybe that's the difference there. That's my thing. I'd love to go back and rediscover my love of Banjo-Kazooie. I think it has to happen on like a long weekend, you know, like, hey, we got 3 days off for Christmas. Let's boot up Banjo-Kazooie, and maybe that'll solve. Maybe having it on Switch where I can play it handheld, you know.
I finally beat that game on the Xbox. So, I mean, if you can get it on the Xbox, either 360 or the Xbox One or whatever you have.
I've still got my N64 copy and it works just fine. So I'm fine with that. It's just more about, I think like with a Switch, it would be more like accessible maybe. So I'd be able to like, you know, I could play it in the bathroom. I could play it on the couch. Like maybe that would take some of the pressure. I could turn off the system and just let it, you know, sit while I waited to get more. That would actually solve a lot of my problems. Because I could put it into sleep mode, you know, and not have to worry about missing my notes.
Here's what you got to do. I know we're going off topic, but you got to hack your Wii U.
Now
so
it's
then
a
you can take the
Banjo-Kazooie
gamepad and then sit on the pooper while playing Banjo-Kazooie while on an N64 emulator. So I'm gonna butt in here because I started talking. I also have games that are when I think about, it's like, oh man, I just want to go back and experience that. And then I go back and experience it, and it's like, oh, I don't know why I wanted to go back and experience this.
It was easier being 7 than 27, and yeah.
So one of those games is Ninja Gaiden, the original on the NES. That was, I think, my very first memory of playing video games, actually.
Wow.
And I back then, a menu will entertain you as a kid, right? I give my kid the Roku remote and he'll just like, you know, push buttons and just watch the screen change, you know, like that is the most entertaining thing. I think I was in that phase as a kid because I vividly remember like dying on like the first room, but then being able to, okay, now I'm on the second room. Okay, now I'm and just kind of progressing a little bit more at a time, you know?
I never got past the tutorial of Mischief Makers on the N64. I did not understand the controls, but I have fond memories of that game and just renting it over and over at Blockbuster. Like It's stuck in my head. So I totally get where you're coming from.
And then, so like now today, going back and playing that game, because that's on I'm pretty sure that's on the Switch thingy that you can, whatever it's called, the Switch Classics Collection. But I remember playing it recently on in some format, Ninja Gaiden, the original on NES, and just being like, I just don't have time for this, because you're fighting against the game, because back then I think games were just hard to be hard.
Well, they had they wanted to lengthen, you know, it's like Ghosts and Goblins. You beat the super hard game, now beat it again, you know? Yeah.
Well, right, if the game doesn't kill you every 5 seconds, it only takes about a half hour, 45 minutes to beat most of these games. Yeah. So they had to do something to make you keep playing it over and over and over and over again.
It's kind of the Sonic the Hedgehog problem.
Yes. And a lot of the times it's just like an unruly difficulty level. Those classic games would do so well if there was like a difficulty slider that they could like hack in somehow, you know?
Oh yeah. But, well, that's why a lot of the ones that are on that NES, whatever we're calling it now, that's why a lot of them have like those modes that they've made, right? Like start Metroid from the Ridley battle, or start Zelda with 5 million rupees, and yeah.
So I don't think that it's a bad game, but it's a game that doesn't respect my time, and at this point in my life, I don't think that it's a game for me, you know, and I can respect that as well.
Well, and part of the problem with Ninja Gaiden, I didn't play a whole lot of that. I don't know if I ever played it for that matter. I think one of my friends had it, but the problem is like it's not even that. Like I can handle a challenging game, like I can handle a game that's difficult because they plan it to be difficult, but like some of those games like Ninja Gaiden are just cheap. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to have you jumping
Yeah.
from platform to platform, and we are randomly going to throw an enemy at you that you probably can't avoid, but you can't predict either. Like,
Or my
something like
favorite is
Cuphead, where you
the-
can predict what's going to happen.
My favorite is the disappearing platforms that you have to like jump from, and then one disappears and you have to jump to
Oh,
the
yeah.
other one that's about to appear somewhere else ahead of you. Like, no, thank you.
So I have to have a conversation with you guys about this, because in college I heard that Ninja Gaiden was really hard, and I downloaded it on an emulator just to try the NES version. I don't think I got very far because I think I got bored. And this is not I'm not trying to like brag or anything. I found it ridiculously easy. And maybe it's just because I didn't get far enough to get into the meat, but I was
That's what it
disappointed
is.
because I had heard all these stories about it being ridiculously hard. Then I thought, oh, they must be talking about the new Ninja Gaidens, like the ones on like the PlayStations and like those games or something.
On the NES, after the second world, or maybe it's the third one, there's like a sharp difficulty spike.
Difficulty spike? Okay.
I remember as a kid, yeah, that exact same thing. Like, I would be able to like get to, eventually get to like, all right, I beat the first boss. Okay, I beat but then once you get to like a certain point in there, it's just like, oh no, forget it.
I got really disappointed because I think I was expecting like Kaizo Mario like out of the gate, and it was so simple at the beginning. I was like, oh, well, forget this, But,
Yeah, the first couple of levels are kind of easy to lull you in. Give it a shot if it's on. I'm pretty sure it's on that classic collection if you're interested, So.
yeah, well, like I said too, emulators still exist. Not that Infendo Radio endorses emulating video
Right.
games, but
No, we only had a whole discussion topic about how great they are about a year or so ago.
so Justin, hit us. What you got?
So I've discovered something. I'm on a bunch of Facebook groups for retro gaming, and of course I've gone through my spurts of retro gaming and everything like that, and I've discovered something about retro games. The first generation of a style does not usually hold up as well. So like most Super NES games, you can still pop them in, play them, and they play and look and sound just as well as they did back in the 90s.
Yeah.
A lot of NES games, not so much. And the same
That's
thing
my
with
cutoff.
N64 N64 games to GameCube games. Most GameCube games hold up really well. Like you could port just about any GameCube game to the Switch
I would say
and
so.
pick it
Double
up and play it.
Dash. Give it to me.
Yeah.
But N64 games, not so much. Now,
Mario Kart 64. Don't give it to me. Yeah, I get that.
when I was thinking of games for this topic, the first ones that popped into my head were Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye, and I have some other like favorites that go back further than that, like A Link to the Past. I think again still holds up.
Oh, yeah.
Ocarina of Time, I think in many ways still holds up.
I will fight you
but
tooth and nail if you say it doesn't. Like,
Ocarina of Time. Well, because by Ocarina of Time, Nintendo had kind of gotten their sea legs.
well, an Ocarina of Time. I mean, as much as I love it, let's be real. It's basically just a newer version of
Link to the
whatever
Past.
the Super Nintendo. Yeah, Links to the Past. So,
Well, right.
yeah.
So
it's borrowing a lot from formula, so I think it had that advantage, Whereas Mario 64 is a miracle child because that game is amazing, and it was
For
entirely its own thing. So it's amazing that it held up. I think it held up really well. at least,
I think judging by the Mario Anniversary Collection or whatever the heck it's called, like that's the one game that I put the most time into. Like,
I played
dabbled
all
into
the way
Sunshine.
through.
I
played all the way through. Like I didn't 100% it, but I played all the way to Bowser on Mario 64, and I've been slowly plotting my way through Sunshine. I think I played one level of Galaxy.
So I didn't touch Galaxy. I never really liked Galaxy. Again, we're diverging, but whatever. But I am one of those people that might argue that Sunshine is the better game. Give me a day of the week, brainwash me and see what I say. But like I really like Sunshine, and I think the flood works really well as like an additional mechanic to like improve your jumping, give you more control. Like I'm a fan.
I absolutely loved Sunshine until I played it again, and then I'm like, it's not quite as good as I remember it.
One of my, I have two games right now that I dream of someday 100%ing. One of them is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which I got so close to but never did on the GameCube. Port it to the Switch. I want that challenge. The other one is Mario Sunshine. I have never 100%ed it.
Same.
God, do I want to.
That's part of the reason I still hold around it's 8 meg memory card for my GameCube, because that's one of the games that I still want to boot up my GameCube to 100% because I'm close.
It's just that dream, that dream of like games you really love, you really want to 100%.
I guess I could do it on the Switch, but then I have to start over. Yeah, but we're getting way off topic. I wanted to add one more game that is the opposite of what you guys are saying, because I still feel that the original Zelda on the NES still holds up, despite NES games not always holding up. Same with Super Mario 3. That one I feel is the best. I might even put that one above Mario World on kind of like you said. Give me a day, and I might call that one my favorite Mario.
Those are tough ones. I would never rank the original Legend of Zelda above A Link to the Past, but Mario 3 and Mario World are kind of
right there.
I didn't love.
It's almost just taste. You want kind of a slower Mario World, kind of just jaunt with pretty graphics, or do you want that really tight Mario 3 perfect platforming kind of
the original Legend of Zelda, there are aspects of it that did not age well, but the whole pick up and play ability and the exploration and the here's a big world, go figure it out for yourself. To
me, it's almost just kind of like Breath of the Wild with dungeons, with items and dungeons. So it satisfies a lot of that thing that I want. It's got a big open world, but it also has the task progression that I was missing from that game. So.
What original game did not age well, in my opinion, is Metroid. The original Metroid.
I agree.
I remember spending hours and hours and hours on that game. I play it now and I'm like, this is a lot of
my dad will fight you tooth and nail on that. He loves his OG Metroid. I am more of a Super Metroid person. I think Super Metroid really kind of perfected
that's where
See, and I think Zero Mission is probably my favorite. I haven't replayed Fusion in a long time, but Zero Mission I think took everything that was great about the first, everything that was great about the third, condensed it into something that was not completely.
See, my sweet spot then, if we're going there, is Fusion, because.
You guys know my second favorite Metroid is Other M, and I will leave.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've never played it, so I have no opinion on it. I know people have opinions on
you really should play it.
Voice acting,
so cinematic.
So far removed from all the controversy and scare quotes, I think you would enjoy it.
That would actually be really interesting. Yeah, you should give it a go. I've always, and again, I know what we're doing here, but I've always, and you guys know this. You've been podcasting with me for years. I've always wanted to be able to, like Breath of the Wild, I've always wanted to be able to do Metroid Prime, but I just always I get to the first boss and I'm just so bored.
Metroid Prime I've restarted about 3 times, and each time I get a little bit further than the last time and then fizzle out.
It's all the exploration of Super Metroid, right? But in a first person format that makes it so much harder for me to figure out where I'm going. That third dimension for a Super Metroid kind of game, just it makes it so I have to focus so much,
and because everything's so much bigger and expanded with if you take a wrong turn in Super Metroid, it'll probably only take you a minute or two to get back. It could take you 10 minutes to backtrack in Metroid Prime.
There's no fast travel in that game, if I don't remember correctly either, right?
Not really, and everything's the path from A to B before you realize, crap, I've been here already. There's nothing here. It's just so long, and there's so many enemies, and Prime has never clicked with me. I love it. I want to love it. I want to play it.
That actually kind of warms my heart, because we disagree about just about everything, but we actually agree about something as big as Metroid Prime. Wow, that's That's bonding right there. That's character growth.
I want to love it, and I'll
Yeah.
probably end up getting the trilogy again if it comes out on Switch. I'll probably end up getting 4, but like 2D Metroid is my thing.
I respect that other people like it, and I liked Prime Hunters because it was so point A to point B that it was very doable in 3D. But I mean, we've had like endless Breath of the Wild discussions, and I'm like, I don't think it's as good a game as you think it is, and I don't feel that way about Metroid Prime. I genuinely understand why people adore it. It's just I don't like it.
It's not for you.
Like,
yeah, it's just not for you.
It's not for me.
So another game that's sorry.
Oh, you're fine. And I think you're going to be our last one, because after that, we really got to change the system. But
well, I was going to say, I mentioned, and you mentioned GoldenEye, so I wanted to touch on that, because GoldenEye is another game that when I have a hankering for it, I can pick it up and play it and be like, the controls don't bother me. I can get, C button strafing like nothing. The levels are still just classic as they ever were and as fun as they ever were. But my God, those graphics, like the 320 by 240 or whatever the heck the resolution is, blown up onto a 55-inch TV is just painful. And like, it kills me that they had this almost perfectly completed remake of it for the Xbox that they just couldn't get the rights to release. And I'm looking at
not. I thought that the remake was also on the Switch.
Well, Activision did a remake of the story of GoldenEye, but it wasn't a remake of the game.
So it's like a GoldenEye game, but it's not GoldenEye 64. It's another GoldenEye game.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing is, like, the GoldenEye, and I've written about this on Infendo. The GoldenEye license is mired in the Bond license is mired in so many different companies, and then you got Rare and Microsoft and Nintendo and all that.
It makes sense too. It's like if somebody did a Pirates of the Caribbean game, another company could still do like a Pirates of the Caribbean game. It's just GoldenEye is so
what's
like
going on with Spider-Man right now. Imagine what's going on with Spider-Man with Sony and Disney, and now Netflix is producing stuff. And then multiply that by like 3, because there are that many more companies. But like GoldenEye, like as far as the gameplay is concerned, that is still classic, and I can still pick up and play it like I was playing, like it was 20 years ago. Nice. But the graphics are so hard to get past because they're so muddy and so difficult to pinpoint that shot.
You just wish it was up-res. Well, I'm actually really happy you said that, because if in a moment of weakness I ever said, oh, I really want to experience this game that they've all gushed over, I would have bought GoldenEye, and now I know it's not even the same game. So
right.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's a good game. It's not as good, and it's not the same game. It's not even a remake. Like, there's like one part of the Wii version that kind of sort of references a level in the N64 version, but because it wasn't the same company making it, they couldn't just outright copy it.
Yeah, that's too bad. I also kind of feel like if I was ever going to really experience that game and enjoy it, I'd need to have like 3 friends over at like a pizza party for the night. I'd want to do it in multiplayer. Oh
my God, all right. I'm gonna have one more anecdote.
I triggered the memory, didn't I? It was like I saw Breath of the Wild Link like have that moment of.
At the last Retro Game Con, which was not last fall because COVID, so the year before, they have a room where there are a bunch of TVs set up and video game systems, and you can just sit down, pick up a controller, and start playing. One of them had GoldenEye on, and it was me, my schnazzy one, my buddy throughout school, and my son.
Muddy.
Yeah, just sat there and playing it, and I was crushing everybody because all the muscle memory was still there. Like, oh, okay, he spawned here last time, so the next person's gonna spawn over there, and I just make a beeline over there.
So basically, you griefed your son.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're like, oh, the gun twitched, fire. It's like all of that comes back. And bear in mind, all the resolution problems you have with the N64 game in single player are compounded when you take that
a quarter of a screen. Yeah.
You got like 100 pixels right here that you're looking at.
Okay, well, in the interest of not having the show go 2 hours, we're going to take a little break. I think we decided we're doing that again. And we will be back on the tail end with Change the System and maybe just the slightest bit of news.
We'll see.
People,
We're back.
we have returned.
You're starting to sound like Hedonism Bot.
Oh, I can't even think of something right now. Okay, let's just start the show.
Yeah, let me find some music and let me find some Steve.
I
Oh,
love how
actually,
you punish him by not being here by playing his voice over and over again.
Is that punishing him or punishing us?
It's definitely punishing him. It's punishing you. That's a choice, I guess. So, I know. I love it. I love hearing sultry, sweet sounds of Steven's voice.
we do have a question block question as well. I will put that in the chat of the Zoom.
I will read it aloud at the appointed time.
Let's start with this song here. Let's find some Stevens.
Oh God, we're continuing the discussion. Okay.
Yes, we are. Tell me how Steve sounds when he talks about this.
Did you know we record the show live every
Perfect.
Thursday night at 7:30?
You sound sinister with the
Yeah,
background.
that was
Yeah,
really
no
good.
kidding.
Ocarina of Time's background music is both like cheery and also disturbing.
Uh-huh. Depending on which
Koji
environment
Kondo,
you're
one of
in.
the best
we
composers.
go.
Did you know we record the show live every Thursday night at 7:30 in the Trues time zone of the mountains? Head over to twitch.tv/Infendo Radio and watch us there.
Oh, wait, we did that one already. That was the one we did in
Yeah.
the beginning of the show. Hold
Did
on.
we? Wow, I was
Yep,
not
I
paying
remember
attention
him
at the
making the
beginning
time
of
zone
show.
comment.
Uh-huh. That's what triggered that for me, too. Let's do Steve saying this.
Ask a question for the show today. Head over to Infendo.com's community page and join our Discord.
We are back. We have games we've been playing. We have some slight news. Let's start with news, guys. Pac-Man 99. is
Yeah.
a thing
Has
that's going
anybody
to
tried it
exist.
yet? Because I have not.
I didn't realize it was out. Well,
Oh,
we're
I didn't know it was
horrible
out
at this.
either. It's out?
We're so bad at this, guys.
I thought it was just like an announcement of an announcement, basically, type of
Yeah,
thing.
I
That's
figured it
usually
would
no,
come
how
out in like
it's-
2022 or something.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
well,
people I follow on Twitter have already gotten #1. So
God, why do
Oh,
we suck
goodness.
at this so much? We've been doing
Yeah,
this
no,
for
it's out. It is
589
out.
episodes.
It was out exactly when it
God.
was released. I could have already been playing this game.
We
So it's
will
not-
be back next week to tell you how good it is.
It's what do you guys think? I mean, obviously we haven't played it, but do you guys plan on
So,
giving it a go?
so like Pac-Man is not. I'm not a Justin. I don't get like super into like the old arcade games like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Mario Bros, whatever.
those are pretty much the only ones that I get into.
I
so.
like Pac-Man well enough. I have a soft spot for Pac-Man because he was one of the 2 games that I owned on the Game Boy when I originally had it. So I have played a lot of Pac-Man. I enjoy it. Pac-Man like Fever or whatever, the like Galaga collection
Pac-Man
one that had
Fever.
the one that had like the Super Pac-Man, the tournament championship mode.
Yeah,
or
I was
whatever
gonna
it
say Pac-Man
Edition.
Championship Edition.
That one was
fun.
really cool. I got really into that for a while. So I mean, I'm Pac-Man neutral. I'll give it a try. It's not as exciting to me as Mario 35 was, but you know, what you gonna do?
But what is, right?
What you gonna do? But unfortunately, that's gone forever now because Nintendo hates me. So I guess Pac-Man. It's still better than Tetris. So Pac-Man it is.
Yeah, I haven't played. I like Tetris. I'm telling you, if they come out with a Dr. Mario 99, I'm so on it.
know
You
what
know
I
what I
think-
would like?
Go ahead.
Lucas now. There's one puzzle game I really like, and that's Puyo Puyo. I would play a Puyo Puyo 99.
That would be cool.
I have never I like Puyo Puyo, but I've never really gotten.
I didn't know I was a Puyo Puyo man until we all got Puyo Puyo Tetris. When
and
like,
you were good at it.
I love Puyo Puyo, dude. Like watching those little droplets. I gotta re-download Puyo Puyo. What am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this show? I don't even know what the news is.
So this is not news related, and we can move on after this anecdote here, I suppose. But I realized how much I dislike playing Tetris with other people after Tetris.
Dude, well, and that's
Tetris DS.
So okay, I wanna phase back.
I forgot about that one.
I want to phase back here to our conversation we had like 8 episodes ago when we were talking about Mario 35, 99, whatever. And when I play Mario 35, I can trance out and not really. It's just harder Mario, you know.
Sure.
When I play Tetris 99, it's like screw you for dumping garbage on me. Screw you for dumping garbage on me. So if Pac-Man is more like Mario, where it's just kind of like I'm just playing Pac-Man and there's more challenges, then I'm all for it.
So that's what I watched a review from Nintendo Life about it, and they said one of the interesting things about it is because of the way the garbage mechanic works. There are reasons for you to like go to a corner and just kind of stop and wait for things to come to you, which is a little different. Like it totally changes the way you play Pac-Man, because instead of moving around constantly, like you're like, oh shoot, I can get a lot of points and dump a lot of garbage if I just wait here for about 5 seconds.
Sure.
So I haven't played it myself. I do like Pac-Man. I usually find that I like the idea of Pac-Man more than I like the practice of Pac-Man. But
sure.
But I will definitely give this a try. Is it a worthy successor to Super Mario Brothers? Probably not, but I also only played that like a handful of times, so maybe I'll play this more.
Real missed opportunity for this to not be Miss Pac-Man 99.
I was really hoping that Nintendo.
Speaking of legal complications.
Yeah, I was really hoping that Nintendo was gonna keep the Mario thing. I know they said they was gonna go away, but I had
April
dreams
Fools,
of them being like,
yeah.
just kidding, you know what? We're actually gonna turn it into Super Mario 335.
Why would we? Why would we not? Why would we not do that? It makes sense. It's just another thing, you know, the reason to get a Switch. Yeah, I don't.
I foresee them bringing it back at some point in the future, maybe is like a, you know, kind of like what they did with Zelda Four Swords.
But will all of our, I mean, like part of the thing there was like, you know, we got all these ranks and we did all this stuff, you know, it's like that'll all be done.
Now it's all gone,
so,
basically,
yeah,
right? Like, 'cause that's just gone. Can you even look at that stuff anymore?
I think the whole game is deleted from my Switch. I didn't see it on there. So.
Yeah, I think it's just
it's
gone
just like
for
it
good.
deleted itself. Like, yeah,
It feels wrong. Like Nintendo took something out of my pocket that I purchased and took it away from me.
Hang on,
we should
see
sue. Well, anyway, in the interest of not having a 4-hour show, why don't we talk about the games we've been playing? And Eugene, why don't you start since Justin's looking for his Mario 35 data?
Sure.
And dropping a Switch on the floor.
I've been playing.
Fine. Mine only has a couple.
The app
switches.
still exists on my system, by the way.
All right, then maybe.
Okay,
it does for
well,
me
there you
too.
go.
Sorry, Nintendo, we were wrong.
For the games that I've been playing, you know, a lot of the usual suspects, kind of the same stuff. I must say.
Shovel Knight.
Yeah, Shantae, Shovel Knight, you know, the usuals. No, Pokemon Go.
Minecraft.
I have been kind of taking a Pokemon Go hiatus, I have to say. Like Heather, my wife,
Haven't
she's
seen
like,
you in
yo,
many
you
of
should
the
go,
raids."
you should do this Giovanni balloon that's been here for 3 days, and I just can't. Just haven't done anything aside from just like the normal raiding.
So you're
stuff,
not
you know?
going to get
So
yourself that Shadow Zapdos, huh?
I don't think I am. I just.
Bro.
I know.
Bro.
I have like a couple hours.
I
think.
was so excited. I was so excited to get mine, and you're just gonna bail on the whole. You're not even part of the squad anymore. Me and Heather are gonna go raiding without you. Forget this.
Oh, I'm kicked out of the raid squad now. Well, now I feel bad.
We'll invite Elijah. We'll train him young.
So yeah, I've been playing that one. I have been playing a little indie game though, that goes by the name of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and yes, again the same old stuff, guys, same old stuff. I will say a little
you guys
bit
kill me.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
It's
Exactly.
adorable. It's adorable, is what it is.
I
What have you
have.
been doing in your little fantasy world this time?
This is not necessarily something that I have played, but something that I will be playing, and also slightly news. I downloaded the fan-made 2D Metroid Prime game that they released a demo for, so I'm actually kind of excited for that
Ooh,
one.
that is interesting. That correlates right back to what we were talking about.
Exactly.
Can I piggyback real quick and tell you guys some exciting news?
Please.
Because I saw a news article today about a bootleg Super Smash Brothers game, and I downloaded it. I downloaded the APK file because it's been taken off of the Google Play Store. And as soon as I can figure out a way to scan it for viruses, I'm going to play it and probably do a YouTube video about it for my channel. It's I can't explain why it's so great, but it's fantastic. It has all the Nintendo characters. The character select screen is what's going viral. When you select Link, you hear some guy go, "I don't enjoy talking very much." There's a Demon Mario character. When you select him, he goes,
This
"Where are
sounds
your
pretty
gods
good.
now?"
I kind of need this link. I have an Android. I can put APKs, and I don't care if I get a virus.
Then I can give
need
it to you. I'll give you the APK, and you can run it. And if it doesn't destroy your phone, I can run it, and that works out great for me. You'll be my canary in the mine shaft. Perfect. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you about that because I found that today, and I'm really excited. So
yeah, now I'm really excited about 2 games that I'll be playing in the future. So stay tuned, Infendo.
Was that it? Was that all you've been playing?
It. I mean, unless you really want to talk about my shiny collection, I can talk about it.
I mean, we've probably got time next episode. Justin, what you been up to?
Well, I've got something old, something new, and something
borrowed, something Sonic.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from this. So for some reason, I got hooked on Lego City Undercover again.
I saw you playing that the other night.
I don't know why. I just suddenly had the urge to boot it up and play it.
I creep on all of you.
That is still in my opinion, it's the best Lego game.
I should have bought that. It was like $20 the other day.
I've never bought it.
It goes on sale often enough. Next time it goes on sale, buy it because it is a great game.
I want to get into it, but I don't know if I'd like it as much as you. Like I love the open world stuff, but like I don't know. Like I don't know if I'd get bored.
So, yeah, the way the game plays, and I've described this before, so I'll make this as brief as possible. There's a big open world. Mm-hmm. And as you follow the storyline, the story leads you to places in the world that transform into your typical 2.5D side-scrolling Lego levels. Yeah. So you complete those, and then you move on to the story in the open world. In the open world, you can do it your own pace. And then, of course, you can go back to the levels and replay them. It's basically the formula that they've used for all the Marvel and DC games since then. Mm-hmm.
But I'm imagining the open world is probably a little more enjoyable because like I had Marvel Lego 2 or whatever, I don't know, one of those, and it was just kind of like, here's a big empty city to fly around in, is like 800 different Marvel characters, you know. Is it?
Yeah, it's definitely, because it's not just a city. There's a section of it that's kind of based on San Francisco, and a section of it that's based on New York, and a section that's based on Miami. And then there's farmland, and then there's like an Asian themed land, and there's beachfront and all that. So there's a lot of diversity in what is a relatively small space.
Oh.
But and it is one of those, kind of Breath of the Wild sort of things where around every corner there's something to discover, there's a puzzle to solve, and there's a little counter on every section. But anyway, for some reason I got hooked back on that, so much so that I have not played much Immortals Phoenix Rising. I finished the Great Plateau section of that game, where you finally reach the open world section of it. I'm like, all right, this is a good place to stop, and haven't picked it up since.
Jeez.
So
I'll be curious to hear where you go, because I beelined it for one specific area, and they're very diverse.
Yeah, so I have no idea what I'm gonna do, and that's part of the reason why I stopped. I'm like, all right, rather than commit to something, I'm just gonna take a little break from this, and then when I jump in, it'll be fresh.
Play some more Breath of the Wild.
Right.
So, what I did play was a demo of a game called Fuser. And Fuser is one of
I want that game so bad.
there
I
is a
don't know
demo,
about it.
as I just said, download
I
the
didn't
demo,
know
give it a try.
that.
Yeah, it
Ooh.
is Harmonix's new game. I don't know if it's their newest, but one of their new games. So if you know what Harmonix is, they
Think
did the
Rock
original
Band.
Guitar Hero, they did Rock Band,
Oh, is it
Frequency,
like
Amplitude.
that?
It is that, yeah.
How do you?
So,
Is it buttons? Is it just like I press
yeah,
buttons?
so I mean, there's a little bit of joystick movement as well, but basically, you get to choose. I mean, the demo they give them to you, but you get to choose 6 records, and you've got 4 turntables, and basically you've got a drum beat, a bass beat, a lead or guitar beat, and a vocal track, and
You're a
your
DJ, my
goal
friend.
is what
Hmm,
exactly your
DJ.
goal is to take like
Cool.
the drums from this song and mix it with the
Mhm.
bass from this song and the lead from this song and the vocals, and then mix it up. And there's a little thing ticker on the side that says play the lead from 2 different songs or play a song from the 90s. And so
Cool.
you have to kind of mix everything in. You get more points for being on the beat or on the downbeat. And then the crowd will start shouting out requests. So
Huh.
they'll say, play All Star. So you got to throw All Star in there, and like play a classic, play some hip hop.
Cool.
And it's kind of neat because I'm laying there in bed. I got a Joy-Con in each hand. I got my earphones on, and I'm just kind of laying in bed jamming to
You're
it.
dead
Like,
mouse.
yeah.
So
I'm
how
like,
does it
this
play?
is
Because
good fun.
I hear that it's a little rough on the Switch.
So I watched a review of it after I played the demo, or maybe it was before I played the demo. And they said that like the cutscenes are a little rough. And I did notice like the opening cutscene did drop quite a few frames.
Of course, we all play Rock Band for the cutscenes.
Right, exactly. Like the gameplay itself in the demo anyway seemed fine.
Cool.
I'm
I
planning
heard
it's
that
on
there was some trouble, like when you from transitioning from song to song. Sometimes there's a little bit like lag that wasn't found on some of the other systems. But I don't know. I've never played it on anything.
Might not
and
even
there
be
might
able to
be
notice if you haven't played it on the other systems.
well, and there might be in the main game, because in the demo that only gives you the 6 songs and you can
Sure.
only pick from those. So maybe when there's a greater selection, it's a little kind of like when you tried to do a morph as Shang Tsung in
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy. There was that pause while it loaded it. I haven't tried it. It's on sale right now, so I'm thinking about getting it now and really giving it a whirl.
Well, I'll definitely download a demo. That sounds cool.
Yeah, exactly. Try out the demo. If you like Harmonix type of games, you'll probably dig this one. I'm sure I will. It was more fun than I expected to be. Of course, there's downloadable content, so you can add more songs to your library. So yeah. Yeah. Besides that, it's been Mortal Kombat, Animal Crossing, Clubhouse
Dante,
games.
Shovel Knight.
Right. So not much to say about those. I haven't played Pokemon in weeks, so
I have. I'll be very brief because everything I've played is old news. Monster Hunter Rise, still an absolute delight. A little bummed out that there's like, I guess I would say 2/5 the content of Monster Hunter Double Cross / Generations Ultimate, and I can say that because most of the most of the tiers in Double Cross had 5 menus worth of content. Most of the ones in Rise have 2, so it seems about the equivalent, give or take, obviously. So yeah, a little bummed out that there's not as much to do, mostly because it's a lot harder for Steve and I to play. We're the Monster Hunter boys on this channel, and like we usually would play Monster Hunter like all night long, every night kind of thing. That's harder to do where I am right now. So we really have to kind of either go out of our way to get like a night together, or it's like we hook up for a couple hours on the weekend. So we haven't had as much time to like play together. So I've been trying to do stuff on my own. I've done everything on my own up to the HR4 urgent quest that'll unlock HR5. So I've made a second character. So now I'm unlocking all the outfits as a boy. So that's something that'll keep me busy. The other thing that kind of bums me out, and it's again kind of content related with the game. Make no mistake, I love the game, but in every other Monster Hunter except maybe World, there was an outfit for your hunter, and then if you went with the gunner, you got weaker armor that looked completely different. Now the gunner doesn't have to wear weaker armor, which is nice, but you also don't get any of those other armor choices. So you don't get as many options for like what you can make and what you can wear kind of stuff, which, believe it or not, for Steve and I is actually a big part of the game. Like, I really enjoy like picking out my favorite outfit from... Yeah, it's a big part of it. Like you hunt a monster, then you get to choose his outfit. It also doesn't have G rank yet. Hopefully that changes, which is basically like end game content. And in G rank, the outfits always look different too. So, in Double Cross, I can go back and play that, and I can choose from like 4 different outfits for each monster. In this game, I have 1. So,
do they usually give G rank for free in DLC, or do they tie that behind like the ultimate game or whatever?
G rank is usually the ultimate game. So this is actually pretty standard for a one-off Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Double Cross was like a celebration collection of like all of the best features of the other games, like an all-star Smash Ultimate kind of thing.
Sure.
Most of the games played like this, and then we get an Ultimate version. Monster Hunter World did this, and then they got a bunch of DLC. They got the Iceborne pack, which added a bunch of new stuff. I'm curious to see if they'll go the World route, because that was so popular, or if they'll stick with like, hey, it's 2 years later, come get, Rise Ultimate or whatever. I'll be happy either way, honestly. I really don't care. But
it's not like you wouldn't buy another $60 Monster Hunter game if it
You're talking to the guy who bought Double Cross in Japanese because it didn't have a US release date, and then 2 years later bought the English version. I love this game. I will buy whatever they throw at me. But I want more. It's such a good game that I want it to be longer. And longer is a relative term, but like 100 hours as opposed to like 500 hours. Like, give me that 500-hour jaunt. I played a little Pokemon, not really anything newsworthy there. If you really want to hear about Pokemon, go listen to Hyper Voice, shameless plug. Our other podcast that I do with Steve. I played a little Smash Bros. I finally played as Pyra and Mithra like 40 years after I said I would.
What's the Japanese names again?
Hikari and Homura. And I keep my system in Japanese because mostly just for like language practice, and also because I like some of the voices better. Don't like Pitt's voice, and he's one of my mains, but Homura / I think Pyra sounds a lot worse in English. I don't know what's going on with her voice. In Japanese, she just sounds like a stereotypical happy anime girl. In English, she's got this like deep baritone.
Toggle the Japanese voices on them like per character. Yeah, that would be cool.
One of the Street Fighter games let you do that, and I was always bothered by the fact that one of the, I think it's the Shoryuken, the English actor couldn't say it, so he didn't. So I always had Ryu on Japanese so that he'd say it.
That's really cool, actually. I would like that. Like, you can do it for the whole game, but obviously not case by case. And if you do it for the whole game, all of your menus are also in Japanese. So enjoy that. And most of them are in kanji, so I can't read them. But yeah, so that's Smash. Not really anything to say. I've mostly just been playing as Sephiroth because Sephiroth, and I've been kind of Sonic hungry. We haven't had a new Sonic game in 4 years now, and that hurts my soul. So I've been playing a lot of Smash Bros. As Sonic to kind of ease the pain. But hey, 30th anniversary, maybe I'll get lucky. But the real game I wanted to talk about, and I know I'll keep it short because we still got a question block to do and we're running long, is I've been playing Pokken Tournament, guys. And I'm the guy who doesn't like playing fighting games online because online players are mean and scary, so I've just been playing against computers. I really like that game. I really wish that game had a sequel. I really wish that game had like something. 80 characters instead of like 18. I really like Pokken Tournament.
I think that was my issue with that game too. It's like, it's fun, but then it's like, okay, well, you can only play the same character so many times. I need a little spice in my life.
It really wants to be, and I think it deserves to be, considered for being a serious fighting game. Like, it really takes itself very seriously. It was for a while,
yeah.
but then it got pulled, I think, and I don't know. They've talked about wanting to make a sequel, but they said it's ultimately up to Nintendo kind of stuff, so it's kind of up in the air. I feel like it's a solid game. It's weird how it morphs from an arena fighter to a 2D fighter, but I think that's kind of cool. I like fighting games for being kind of fun, and I like them for the characters you can have, and that kind of stuff. So, like, I just wish it had like all the Pokemon instead of like 20, but whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I've been doing Pokken Tournament, and that's really kind of everything interesting I've been up to. Finally got my Zapdos in Pokemon Go. If anybody cares about that, it's only been 4 years, but I finally got one.
And a Shadow one at that.
And a Shadow one at that. So Moltres is last up on my list, and I've got all 150 from Kanto. So that'll be special. Let's do question block so we can get out of here for the night.
Let's.
NOL asks, in the soup sandwich divide, which is from our conversation we had last week on the show, what defines a soup? Thanks. So I have kind of a general rule for this, easy topic rule here. Sandwiches are obviously easier to define, right? If everything is either a soup or a sandwich, the only things that are sandwiches are things that are sandwiched, right? Like you could classify, give me something, give me food, give me stuff.
Ooh, artichoke.
Artichoke would be a soup because it's just a mismashing of everything put together. Give me another one.
I was going to say cereal, but that's obviously a soup.
Cereal is obviously a soup. But see,
eyebrows.
But see, and I think I said this last week. I didn't want to bring it up because I don't want to contradict myself from last week. I could argue that a pizza is a sandwich because it's bread and cheese sandwiching tomato sauce.
All right, waffle.
Waffle would be a soup because it's one ingredient. It's just atoms mixed together into waffle.
I don't have a definition for this because I think you just nailed it on the head.
Reese's peanut butter cup I would call a sandwich because it's peanut butter sandwiched in between two pieces of chocolate.
What if it's a stuffed waffle?
Then it would be a sandwich.
So how is a waffle soup, but the stuffed waffle is a sandwich?
You can turn a soup into a sandwich. If it's sandwiched in between stuff, then it becomes a sandwich.
That's
a
how we got to the
waffle is
Oreo.
something
Don't
stuffed.
you remember the Oreo?
But you're sandwiching something in between.
Well,
soup.
everything has to have the potential to be soup. That's like the building block of food. But then certain things can elevate into a sandwich.
Did we answer the question, or are we just back down this rabbit hole?
I think we have. Soup. Anything can be a soup, but not everything can be a sandwich, and that's your answer.
A square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square.
This guy gets it. And with that, we have had a lovely show tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed every square minute of it or rectangular minute of it. We will be back next week with episode 590 and maybe a little friend from our past. That may have been too cryptic. People might be expecting it. It's not a guest. It's a thing. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
It's Steve, isn't it?
Well, that too, probably. We'll see.
See ya.
See you real soon.